Can everyone please remain standing for the singing of our national anthem and the presentation of our colors by Air Force Junior ROTC. You may all be seated now. Welcome, graduates, staff, and families, to the graduation commencement of Washburn Rural High School's class of 2018. Many of you may know, and for those that do not, we are the 100th graduating class of Washburn Rural. Parents, you are all probably wondering where the time has gone. When you look at your graduate and you think about how just yesterday, when we were toddlers starting to get a grasp on the world, and now we're all grown up and graduating high school. With the healthy and learning environment that we were given when we were younger, that has caused us to create a Washburn legacy that will continue on for many, many years to come. The real tradition started over 100 years ago, in 1918, in the basement of a church on Washburn University's campus, starting with the adaptation of the mascot, thus making us the Junior Blues. From there, the school changed locations 3 times, mostly due to the rapid growth of student population. In the fall of 1964, the school opened its new and current location on 61st and Wanamaker. Knowing the history of the school has allowed the class to grow and create a new foundation among the halls of Washburn. We impacted the schools in a way that we didn't know we could. We created changes in this school that could last for many more years to come. As a class, we have grown, starting with our first day of high school as freshmen to our last day of seniors. We've had those days, whether we woke up at the crack of dawn or showed up late, to starting at a new school, the late night study sessions, starting to drive for the first time, and finally reaching our high school graduation. Now we are all here about to move on to our next big adventure, whether that may be going into college, the military, or even headed straight into the workforce. Whichever path you choose to take, you will always be a Washburn Rural Junior Blue. All of us sitting here today are the future in this society, whether that may be solving the next world war, cure some new disease, or even become the President of the United States. All that is truly known right now is that we are ending this amazing chapter in our life to start a new one that can be filled with so many different opportunities or chances. The past 4 years of our lives may have had some ups and downs, some goods and bads, but after all that, we managed to make it to graduation. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you, Cheyenne. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Centennial Commencement exercise of Washburn Rural High School. This celebration is held to recognize the students of the class of 2018 whose contributions and achievements will forever be a part of the history and traditions that are Washburn Rural. For those of you in the audience this evening who have in one way or another contributed to their lives and their success over the last 18 years, we are grateful that you are able to join us in honoring this fine group of young adults. I would like to extend a special welcome this evening to our junior escorts, Braden Lee and Nadia Jackson, who were recently elected as our 2018-19 Student Council co-presidents. Please stand. We are required to announce that in accordance with the Kansas State Fire Marshal regulations, we request that you take a moment to identify 2 emergency exits close to you. These exits and the other emergency equipment in this building have been checked to verify that they are available for use in an emergency. In case of such an emergency, pay close attention for important life safety information. Also, be aware that this facility was built to withstand an F4 tornado. Should bad weather occur outside, please plan to stay right here and follow our instructions. At this time, I would like to give all of you a moment to set your cell phones to silent so as not to interrupt tonight's ceremony. This is a very special event, and we don't want anything to detract from it. Thank you for your cooperation. Graduates. You know, as a high school principal, community member, and uncle, I've attended more than a few graduations over the years, and invariably, they all have a very similar flavor. Speakers will often share with you their secrets for living a successful life or call you to action with wisdom and prose about the virtues of serving your community and nation. Some of them will use humor to do it, and others will opt for a more somber approach. However, in the days, the weeks, the months, and the years that follow, those wise words become distant echoes in the ever-expanding landscapes of your lives. They lose their brilliance and their ability to bring into focus the most important aspects of life. They no longer endure. They no longer sustain. They no longer inspire. And they no longer light the way. And so tonight, I make a modest attempt to give you something for the road. Many years ago, I read a book about a young Southern governor and his wife, the Stantons, who were in the midst of a hotly contested and particularly tumultuous presidential campaign. And by their side, and I wish we all had a friend like this, by their side was a fiercely tenacious, wickedly smart, loyal, lifelong friend and free spirit whose name was Libby. Now, Libby had given her life to the Stantons because she believed so strongly in what they stood for. In her eyes, their cause was pure and without question. She did whatever she had to do in order to protect them. Sometimes that meant taking down political rivals, and other times that meant saving the Stantons from themselves. In her 20 years with them, she never once questioned who she was or what she was doing until one dark evening. She came by some information that would destroy, absolutely destroy, the career of one of Governor Stanton's opponents for the presidential nomination. A man that, while inept, Libby believed was a good and decent human being. Firm in her belief that the Stantons would take the high road, that they would do the right thing, she shared that information with them. Sadly, they decided to use it to their advantage. Now, Libby was distraught. She was disillusioned. Heartbroken, she called a young associate of hers named Henry to come pick her up. Henry was new to politics. He was idealistic. He was passionate. He believed deeply in promoting the greater good and that a rising tide would raise all ships. He was her protege. So Henry picked her up, and as they made their way down a dark country road in Henry's pickup, she asked him to pull over on the side of the road. In the crisp fall night, the pale brilliance of a full moon was beginning to cast its glow on the southern pines and fields that surrounded them. And looking to the sky with streams of tears running down her face, she said, "Look up there. That's me, Henry. Beautiful, isn't it? Very impressive to us earthlings. But Henry, honey, the moon is only reflected light. It needs the sun, and I've lived my life drawing light and warmth from the Stantons, and my goodness, they were so good and they were so bright. I could go for years without remembering I wasn't producing any warmth myself, any light of my own. But the day comes when you look in the mirror and all you see is a dead rock. Without the Stantons, I'm dark and airless for eternity. The deal is, Henry, don't let this happen to you. You still have something of an atmosphere about you. And so herein lies what I fervently hope you take away this evening. So many people in life, so many, go through life not knowing who they are or what they truly believe. And the worst part is, they don't even know it. All they are is a reflection of the beliefs around them, and who they are is a reflection of what other people think of them. All of us in this hall tonight want more for you than that. In your lives, be individuals that give light and warmth to others, not those who merely reflect it. Know who you are, know what you believe, and act every day to honor that. This is our centennial. A little over 100 years ago, President Theodore Roosevelt spoke on this subject. I want to share with you what he said. It is not the critic that counts, not the individual who points out how the strong person stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the individual who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes up again and again and again short, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends themselves in a worthy cause, and who, at the best, knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who, at the worst, if they fail, at least fail while daring greatly, so that their place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who know neither victory nor defeat. If all of you believe in yourselves as much as your teachers who are sitting with you this evening believe in you, as much as your coaches have believed in you, as much as the people sitting in this arena tonight have believed in you, you will truly have extraordinary lives. Make a difference, class of 2018. Be the light in this world, not just a reflection of it. At this time, I would like to introduce the people seated on stage this evening. As I call your name, please stand. The audience will applaud once everybody has been introduced. Marcy Fredrickson, counselor. Keith Wetzel, counselor. Susanna Prohaska, counselor. Leslie Fisher, counselor. Mr. Bruce Stiles, Executive Director of Business Services. Mr. Brian White, Executive Director of Human Resources and Operations. Ms. Tricia Brooke Front, the President of our Board of Education. Mr. Tom Bruno, the Vice President of our Board of Education. Mr. Darren Haddock, Board Member. Ms. Jacqueline Lightcap, Board Member. Mr. Michael White, Board Member. Our guest speaker, Mr. Greg Binkley, and his compadre who is in the back here, Mr. Luke Chaffee. Dr. Scott McWilliams, our Superintendent of Schools. Ms. Stephanie Burkhalter, Counselor. Ms. Cynthia Kofel, Counselor. Michelle Caporusso, Counselor. Mr. David Hines, Board of Education Member. And Mr. Brian Smith, Board of Education Member. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for our podium guests. Please be seated. Would now like to introduce Mr. Michael Mize in the Washburn Rural High School Chorale, who will be singing Old Irish Blessing by Dennis Agay. Thank you, Chorale, Ms. Marcus, and Mr. Mills. Seniors, it is my pleasure to introduce Greg Binkley and Luke Chaffee as our featured speakers this evening. Typically, we would only have one graduation speaker, but the senior class officers were interested in doing something a little bit different for our 100th commencement. So we have the Binkley-Chaffee Show. I have every confidence that you'll find this dynamic duo as entertaining as Batman and Robin, Abbott and Costello, Sonny and Cher, Johnny Marie, Penn and Tiller, or even maybe Beavis and Butthead. With respect to the latter, I'll leave it up to your good judgment to decide who's who. Mr. Binkley is from Topeka area and has been making his living as an actor for 30 years. He's been directed in films by Mel Brooks, Clint Eastwood, and Woody Allen, and has been on many TV shows, including My Name is Earl, Stuck in the Middle, and CSI, and was a series regular on the Fox TV hit Raising Hope. Mr. Chaffee is the director of bands at Washburn Rural High School and is currently finishing his 19th year of teaching. As director, Mr. Chaffee leads one of the premier instrumental groups in the state of Kansas, which next year will number in excess of 240 members during the marching band season. Both gentlemen will share more about their backgrounds during their address. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Binkley Chaffee Show.
Oh, thank you very much, Ed. Thank you very much. It's very exciting for me to be back here in Topeka. This is where I grew up. It's my hometown. Some people are crying about it, I hear over there already. But yes, it's great to be back. Not only did I grow up in Topeka, I actually went to high school in Topeka. I went to this place called Washburn Rural. I don't know if you've heard of it. You guys have heard of it? No? Yes? You guys went there too? Yeah? Same school! Same school! Woohoo! All right. Hey, did you guys have Mrs. McKinney for social studies? Remember her? She had the beehive hairdo. Did you guys have her? Because I don't remember seeing you guys in the class.
Greg.
What?
This is the class of 18.
No, class of 81. That was the one I was at. 81. You guys say 81? No.
18, 1-8.
Oh, that's totally different. Okay.
We're good?
Well, I don't know. If I went in 81 and you guys 18, how many years ago did I go? Anybody? Bueller? 37? Oh, that can't be true. Who taught these kids math? 37 years ago? Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. What about you? Where did you go to high school?
Right here, Washburn Rural.
You went to Washburn Rural? Same school! Woohoo!
Same school.
Wow. Did you have Mrs. McKinney for social studies? She had the beehive hairdo. You remember her?
I didn't. I remember her, but no, I didn't have her. She's pretty scary.
Oh, well, she was a little tough, but, well, what are you doing up here?
We're supposed to talk to these guys about something, life advice and mildly amusing.
Mildly amusing? How are we doing so far? I've heard crickets. Haven't heard any laughs. All right, so we're supposed to speak
Yes.
and inspire?
Well, we'll find out.
All right, well, we'll give it our best shot. All right, well, I'm a little bit older. Maybe I should start.
I will let you start.
You'll be on standby, right?
In case you get nervous or confused, I'll be right here.
Yes, I get confused. That was Mr. Rain, everybody. Thank you very much, Mr. Oh, sorry, Mr. Chaffee. Mr. Chaffee. Thank you. All right, well, listen, it is quite an honor to be up here. I'm very excited to be up here because I remember sitting 37 years ago right where you're sitting. Well, not where you're sitting. Actually, I was sitting over there. No, not there. Right there. No, right there. Yeah. Same seat. Woohoo! Woohoo! All right. And I remember sitting there, and the guy was speaking. The commencement speaker was speaking, and he was giving these inspirational words. And I can't remember exactly what he said, but something struck me, and the thought occurred to me, and I thought to myself, I wonder how much longer this guy's going to talk, because I want to get to my graduation party. How many of you are thinking that right now? Very good. All right. Some listeners. Well, listen, the good news, Mr. Raines said we could only speak for 4 hours, right? 4 hours. So we'll definitely be done by midnight. Oh, I'm sorry, 10 to 15 minutes. Oh, all right, I got to wind this up. Okay, well, let me say something inspirational. Okay, here it is. You ready? This is it. You, and when I say you, I mean you, yes.
They understand.
Oh, all right, all of you. Okay, you got it? All right. You, this is my speech. Here it is. You can go anywhere from where you are. You can go anywhere from where you are. And I say that with confidence because I look back at my class of 1981, and some of the people in my class stayed here and made a great life in Topeka. Mrs. Casper, who works in the office, was in my class. We had another guy in my class that actually works for the CIA. It's a true thing. Doesn't surprise me. He was always very sneaky in high school, always lurking in the shadows. So it doesn't surprise me. My path led to Los Angeles, but when I was sitting here, I had no idea where I was going to go. So maybe you don't either. But the lessons you've learned at Washburn Rural, you'll be surprised at how they come up into your life. Like for me, I've been surprised. Do you have a picture of me in high school that you can show? That was me at Washburn Rural. You can see why I got all the girls, right? All right. Now that was a character I was playing. I didn't always look like that. But I played that character in plays and things like that around Washburn Rural. And then I moved out to Los Angeles and ended up working at a restaurant called Ed DeBevic's, a 50s diner in Beverly Hills, where all the waiters were playing characters waiting tables. And I ended up waiting tables like that guy. And then I ended up getting on a few TV shows as that. And then one of my regular customers was a director, and he was directing a movie called Revenge of the Nerds 3. Revenge of the Nerds 3. It was a story that needed to be told a third time, apparently. And he was looking for somebody to be the leader of the new generation of nerds. And he chose that guy, that nerd that you saw a moment ago. You never know where life is going to lead you. This is a picture of me in the last play that I was in at Washburn Rural. It was called Tea House of the August Moon. And in that play, the American military goes to Japan, and they're teaching the Japanese how to become Americanized. Well, side note, keep that picture up there for a second. Side note, I ended up moving to Los Angeles and meeting my wife, who was, where do you think she was from? Japan, exactly. You never know where life's going to lead you. But this character I was dressed at, does that look like any kind of TV iconic character? Barney Fife from the Andy Griffith Show? You guys remember Barney Fife? I don't know if you kids do. But Don Knotts played this character named Barney Fife, and he was an inept deputy in Mayberry. And he talked like this. Whenever he felt pretty confident, he took a big sniff, like that, and he'd brag about how tough he was. My whole body is a lethal weapon. In fact, you see these babies? That's karate. A lot of times you don't even see those babies move, you just see blood. So, anyway, I started acting like Barney Fife at Washburn Rural. In that play, I acted like Barney Fife the whole time, right? And people seemed to enjoy it. Well, years later, I'm in Los Angeles. They're casting a movie, behind the scenes of Three's Company, and they're looking for somebody to play Don Knotts. And they ended up casting that guy, the character I was playing at Washburn Rural. You never know where the lessons you have learned here are going to take you. They can take you anywhere. You can go anywhere from where you are. Some of you will go out of the country, other states, other cities. I know one guy that found his place right here at Washburn Rural. This guy that keeps interrupting me, and now he doesn't want to interrupt me. This guy, come on up there. You guys want to hear from Mr. Chaffee, right? Mr. Chaffee.
Thanks. So, what's the most important advice I could give as a teacher, as a graduate of Washburn Rural? I think they found a couple, not that picture, Yeah, they found a couple pictures of me, but I think it's important to be able to look back on your high school career and be able to say, and I mean this in an entirely gender-neutral sense. There's a picture that, not the one with the wig, but there's another picture. Hopefully it's there. If not, you'll have to use your imagination. The most important advice I can give is that you can look back and say, there it is. You can look back and say, I was a babe magnet. That's really the most important advice I could give to you on this graduation Sunday. Yeah, no, I wasn't. Seriously, here's my message. If I could go back in time, if I could make a few course corrections, if I could do something different, what would it be? Would it be my hairstyle? I don't think it would, because that was in style in the 90s. That was Achy Breaky, Billy Ray Cyrus. That was it. So no, I wouldn't change that. Would I get a car with seat belts? Because my 1965 Chevy pickup did not have seat belts. It was baby blue. It was cherry. It was baby blue. Had one green door. It was trimmed. It was trimmed with the darkest, most beautiful shade of rust you can possibly imagine. I wouldn't change it. I also wouldn't change any of the scars that I still have from the wreck I had in it and I walked away from because it didn't have seatbelts. Would I change this girlfriend I had for 2 long, agonizing years in high school? Brief hiatus, and then another long, agonizing year after that, almost 3 of my 4 years of high school. Would I change that? Actually, I would not. It shaped me. It helped me become the person that I am today. in some strange ways, but in ways that are important. All of those experiences, and many others, they did that, exactly. They shaped me, and they all happened right here. They happened at Washburn Rural while I was a student. I wouldn't change anything. Now, I had an epiphany during my junior year. I was a band geek. I don't know if this comes as a surprise to anybody. It's pretty much what I did. I know you're thinking, surely he was a varsity athlete, but no, I was not. But I got quiet during a period of time my junior year. I call it a moment of clarity. And I was sitting in rehearsal. I remember it vividly, and it dawned on me. I love this. I want to do this. I want to do it here. Well, 5 years of college, 5 because good things take time, 6 years at Highland Park High School, and 13 years later, I'm still here, doing what I always wanted to do, doing what I knew I wanted to do, and I knew I wanted to do it one moment when I got quiet, when I had clarity, sitting in rehearsal at Washburn Rural, doing what I love. You don't have to go to Hollywood. I mean, Greg and I, we're the perfect juxtaposition for you today. He's in Los Angeles. I'm right here. Washburn Rural shaped both of us into the people we were meant to be. And it's going to help shape you into the people you're supposed to be. And you may not fully be aware of that right now, okay? But it's going to come. That moment of quiet for you. When you have that moment of clarity. And it's going to dawn on you what you're supposed to be. All the little things that happen to you, all the big things that happen to you in your life, they matter. All of them. Trust me. A good friend of mine, he once said, teenagers can do anything. And that statement really resonated with me. I thought, that's true. It's always been true. It's more true now than ever. Don't limit yourselves. Don't allow yourself to be labeled by generation. Don't let others tell you what you can and can't do. The world is literally at your fingertips. Literally. Take advantage of it. You're gonna learn, and you're gonna be shaped by all of your experiences. Either you're gonna get stronger through your mistakes, or you're gonna embrace your successes and try to repeat them. Both are gonna help form that person that you're meant to be. And there's no way that you're gonna know what's gonna come. 10, 20, or even 37 years from now, what you're gonna be.
That's true. Hard to believe. Thank you. I have one more thought about that, because he talked about being quiet and getting quiet, and I told you you can go anywhere from where you are, but I don't know if you've ever been on a TV set or a movie set. The director always says action, but do you know what the first assistant director says right before that? Anybody know? Quiet, quiet, quiet. You know, if you want to figure out where to go in your life, I highly recommend you get quiet. That's the starting point. I'll never forget when I went to KU, after Washburn Rural, I stopped acting. I got away from it, and I wasn't sure what to do with my life. And I remember getting quiet one night in my dorm room and saying, well, what should I do? And I ran up these options. I could manage the sports center, you know, Goonie Golf over there? I used to manage that. I could do that. That didn't seem right. I could manage my friend's tanning booth. Nah, that didn't seem right. I could go into advertising. That's what I got my degree in. That didn't seem right. But the thought kept coming to me to be an actor. It kept coming to me. And finally I listened. It's like lights, camera, action. I don't know if you've ever heard that term, lights, camera, action. Well, it was like the light went off. I should be an actor. You should be a policeman. You should be an architect. You should be a farmer. You should be a mechanic. You should be an accountant. Whatever, it's going to come to you. The light goes off. Next camera, you focus. You focus on how you can make that happen. Look at how other people have become teachers, how other people have become actors, how other people have become principals. How can you do that? Lights, camera, action. Ultimately, it comes down to action. The actions you take will determine your life by the day, by the week, by the month, by the year, by the decade. And I hope for all of you, 37 years later, you'll look back after Washburn Rural and think, yeah, I'm happy with the life that I've created. I really hope that for all of you. You know, there was a musical called Man of La Mancha. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. The main character's name is Don Quixote, and he has this song, and he sings, "I'm Don Quixote, the Lord of La Mancha. My destiny calls, and I go." I love that. My destiny calls, and I go. I think each one of you has a destiny, each one of you, and it's somewhere within you. If you get quiet and listen, there's no telling where it's going to take you. You can go anywhere from where you are, all of you. And I know Mr. Chaffee and both of us wish you nothing but the best in your life. And I know, as two former graduates of Washburn Rural, we're very happy to welcome you into the alumni of Washburn Rural.
You know how these guys would commemorate a moment like this?
How would they do that?
Well, they would take what's called a selfie.
Ooh, I've seen that. Selfie?
Yeah. And then they'd put it on some sort of snap face or book chat or something.
Book chat? Oh, I love book
Yep.
chats. Well, I've got to do that then, too.
Yeah, and so we should do that.
A selfie?
Now, see, it's called a selfie because we're going to put ourselves in it.
Oh, very educational.
That's why
See,
they
you're
call
still
it that.
learning.
That's why they call it
All
that.
right, let's do it. All right, you guys ready?
Uh-oh, there we go. 3, 2,
Are you
1.
smiling back there?
Sure they are. Yeah, because we're done. Yeah, I don't do this very often.
All right.
All right, that's it. Yeah, that's good.
Hey, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. Same alumni, same alumni.
Here's to another 100 years, Washburn Rural.
Thank you very much. Junior Blues!
And now we come to that part of our program that brings me the most joy. We get to celebrate the academic successes of the class of 2018. First, I'd like to recognize our gold cord bearers this evening. The right to wear the gold cords at this ceremony is reserved for those students who have attained a cumulative grade point average of 3.65 and above while in high school. Would those 190 students who have earned this privilege please stand to be recognized at this time? Congratulations. Next, we recognize those graduates who are distinguished members of the Junior Blues chapter of the National Honor Society. These students were elected by the faculty because of their commitment in 4 areas: scholarship, leadership, service, and character. Please recognize these students with your applause as they stand, National Honor Society members. Next, we will recognize those graduates who are members of the National Technical Honor Society. In addition to a cumulative grade point average of 3.75 or higher, these students were required to have demonstrated exemplary academic performance in their career and technical education classes. Please recognize these students with your applause as they stand. We are proud to recognize our 5th graduating class of International Baccalaureate Diploma candidates. The program is an internationally recognized college preparatory program that stresses interdisciplinary study, academic rigor, and humanitarian considerations. Students are required to sit for exams in all content areas, and these exams are internationally assessed and moderated. Additionally, candidates are required to conduct substantive, qualitative, and/or quantitative research in an area of unique interest and write a lengthy synopsis of their research findings. The commitment and dedication required to complete the program is substantial. It is my pleasure to recognize the following students. Please stand as I call your name. Marion Ashfog. Samantha Bissett. Grace Crater. Kim Haloshos, Nicholas Sastoki, Balin Schneider, Kate Schoenfeld, Leslie Toresis, Caleb Triggs, Amanda Winter. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2018 International Baccalaureate class. Congratulations, well done. Next, I'd like to recognize 6 of our graduates who have been identified as among the top students in the nation. As indicated in your program, these students have been designated as National Merit Commended Students, ranking nationally in the top 5% on the qualifying test. These students are Kim Haloshos. Kim, stand up again, there you go. Jacob McNamee, Michael Navarro, Catherine Rasmussen, Cade Schoenfeld, and again, Amanda Winter. National Merit Commended Students. Congratulations. Next, we have a group of graduates who have, over the past 4 years, achieved a weighted grade point average of 4.0 or above. These students have earned the right to wear the Honor Graduate Medal this evening, and I would like to ask the 113 individuals who have earned this honor to stand and be recognized at this time. You may be seated. Finally, 18 of our graduates earned straight A's during their entire high school career. We would like to recognize them at this time. Miriam Ashfog, Zachary Burris, Sherston Davis, Michaela Nagy, Mason Haddock, Grace Hutchinson, Haley Hutton, Megan Lucas, Mindy McKinley, Amanda Miller, Michael Navarro, Catherine Rasmussen, Cole Resnick, Cade Schoenfeld, Marissa Shivers, Katie Welch, Amanda Winter, and Cortland Wolf. Ladies and gentlemen, straight A's during their entire high school careers. Be seated, please. It is now my pleasure to invite Mr. Chris Ridley to the stage. Mr. Ridley is a former assistant principal at Washburn Rural High School and has been serving as our Centennial Steering Committee co-chair during the last year and a half. He is here this evening to present our first Centennial Scholarship. Mr. Ridley.
As Principal Raines said, I am a former Washburn rural educator and administrator. I spent 36 years working in the Auburn-Washburn schools, and I'm pleased and proud to be here today to award the first Centennial Anniversary Scholarship. The scholarship was created this year in conjunction with the 100th year celebration of Washburn Rural High School's existence. As one of the co-chairmen of the Centennial Committee, I help with the fundraising efforts. Many individuals and several local corporations contributed to our efforts, and we'd like to thank them. One of the initiatives chosen by the fundraising subcommittee was to create a scholarship that would help a student pursue their post-secondary education. Washburn Rural has a significant number of students who have chosen to attend four-year institutions, two-year colleges, and also technical colleges. The scholarship committee decided that the recipient of this monetary award would be selected from a pool of applicants that would be first-generation attenders of college or technical college. In simpler terms, what we are hoping for is to encourage a new generation of post-secondary attenders in hopes that through their pursuit of professional careers, they would pass the tradition of attending colleges on to future generations within their own prospective families. One of my favorite quotes about our great American society that seems to be appropriate for this scholarship is, and I quote, "America may well be an equal opportunity country, and talent may be distributed equally among us, but our society does not yet equally distribute opportunity." This year's recipient of a $2,000 award to assist with her college pursuit is senior Rochelle Cower. Rochelle, would you please come forward, receive your certificate, and be recognized?
As you see, it's a rather long, quiet walk up here, so let's give her another round of applause. It is now my pleasure to introduce Cynthia Kofel, who will make the presentations for the McElroy Awards. Ms. Kofel.
I am honored to announce the recipients of the W.A. McElroy Award. Each year, 2 students are selected to receive this recognition. The award is in memory of a distinguished Auburn-Washburn educator who served the students and patrons of our district for 3 decades from 1943 to 1971. During that time, W.A. McElroy served as high school principal and the district's superintendent. Each teacher and our student council members were asked to vote for 1 male and 1 female who consistently made good choices in 3 areas. Mr. McElroy wanted to honor students who showed a passion to both explore and learn, students who stayed involved in sports, activities, and clubs, and students who made good choices consistently through their actions, their character, and their deeds. Academics, activities, and citizenship are areas that our McElroy Award recipients demonstrate daily. This year's McElroy recipients will be asked to come forth and briefly address the audience, their classmates, and faculty who chose to honor them here today. Each recipient receives a cash award for post-secondary expenses and a plaque commemorating their selection. Would Megan Lucas and Cole Resnick please come to the stage?
Hello. I would like to begin by saying thank you to all of those who chose me to receive this honorable award. Thank you to the teachers who challenged me over the years, to all the coaches who pushed me even when I didn't want to be pushed, to all of my peers who held me accountable, and to Washburn Rural for the countless opportunities. Also, thank you to my family for the constant support. This community has become my home, and all of my classmates have become a part of my family. It has been a roller coaster ride full of growing, laughing, struggling, persevering, some crying at times, and finally celebrating, all of which we have done together. Every part of the last 4 years has helped me to discover who I am, and hopefully the rest of you can say the same. But it's important to not let the journey end here. Remember, we will always be Junior Blues, even if no one else understands what kind of a mascot that is. Thank you again for this reward. I'm honored to be a member of the class of 2018, and I wish you all the best of luck with whatever your future may hold.
Thank you very much. But before I express my gratitude, I'd like to share an interesting fact with you. There's over 7 billion people on Earth, and only one of them is you. If that makes you feel small and insignificant, the odds of you existing are much tinier. In fact, scientists conclude that the odds of you becoming a human are 1 in 10 to the power of 2,685,000. In case you slept through your freshman math class, that is a 10 with 2,685,000 zeros after it. Think of it like this. 2 million people get together to play a game of dice with a trillion-sided dice. They each roll the dice, and they all come up with the exact same number. That is the likelihood that you're here today. So the odds that you exist are basically zero. You could say that there's no scientific chance whatsoever. And yet, here you are sitting before me. But despite our luck, we still find time to gripe, to dodge social injustice, to promote negativity online, to look for handouts, and to surrender to normalcy. But once you understand how lucky you are just to be sitting in that chair, you will start to pursue the one thing you're put on this earth to do. We already won the biggest lottery ever, so act like it. This is what I remind myself before quitting or complaining. And because of that mindset, my dreams are becoming a reality. In fact, I will be in processing with the class of 2022 at the United States Air Force Academy this June. But I'm not the only one. Some of my fellow classmates are willing to sacrifice the gift of life in defense of this great nation. So will all the seniors who plan on entering the military upon graduation please stand to be recognized at this time. Thank you, thank you. You may be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, these soon-to-be graduates are shouldering an incredible responsibility, and for that, I'm extremely grateful. So thanks to them, thanks to my wonderful teachers, thanks to my supportive classmates, thanks to my brother who is watching from Italy, and thanks to my parents. In conclusion, I will leave you with this. You may not believe in miracles, but do you believe in yourself? Thank you very much.
It is my pleasure to welcome Dr. McWilliams to the podium, who will be presenting the Dale Dennis Award. Dr. McWilliams.
Thank you, Mr. Raines. Before presenting the Dale Dennis Award, I would like to thank everybody in attendance tonight for celebrating this 100-year milestone graduation with us and our students. Because of you, the support of our entire school community, and the amazing students that attend our schools, we look forward to our next 100 years with optimism and excitement. The Dale Dennis Excellence in Education Award was established in 1996 by Kansas school administrators to honor the long and valuable service that Dale Dennis has given to Kansas education for the past 55-plus years. He is a highly respected person and a tremendous educator who has worked nonstop to support our work with students. He currently serves as Deputy Commissioner of Education. It is my pleasure to present this award annually to a Washburn Rural High School student who displays the qualities that Dale Dennis embodies: integrity, honesty, a commitment to serving others, and good common sense. This year's winner was chosen not only for those characteristics, but also for her leadership and her character. It is my honor to present this year's award to Mindy McKinley.
Thank you, Dr. McWilliams. I would like to thank Dale Dennis for his continued commitment and support for Kansas education. Many members in our class represent these characteristics so strongly. I hope that each of us finds something we can dedicate ourselves to so wholeheartedly and successfully to improve our world. As we begin our adult lives, I hope we can continue to emulate these defining characteristics so sought after in today's society. In honor of Mr. Dennis, I am extremely honored. It is immensely humbling to accept this award.
Okay, the time has come. As superintendent of schools, I certify that all diploma candidates seated before you this evening have met the requirements as set forth by the Auburn-Washburn Board of Education for graduation from Washburn Rural High School. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the graduating class of 2018.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we begin to read the names of graduates, I'd like to remind those in attendance that we have approximately 420 students graduating this evening. It is important that each and every family member in attendance be able to hear us recognize their student's name. As such, please refrain from using air horns or other noisemakers during the presentation of diplomas. Your cooperation respecting each graduate's right to be recognized is deeply appreciated. And here we go. Will the first row of graduates rise and come to the platform?
Madison Marie Arnis. Blake Lee Abram. Eileen M. Aguilar. Ashley Renee Alf. Rafael Devesa Alaris. Raina Marie Alcantar. Jashawn Alston. Brenda Aurora Alvarez. Adam William Anderson. Samuel Edward Andrew. Miriam Ashfog, IB diploma candidate. Laurel Ann Aspergren. Justin Todd Everett. Oops. Isabella Viviana Aya Hinkle. Honesty Elise Shandy Baza. Renee Elise Baker. Chandler Mackenzie Baker. Christian Michael Barber. Rex Douglas Bassett. Tori Lewis Bates. Amara Jane Batiste. Alexander Cecil Bayless. Parker Edward Beal. Hallie Catherine Beard. Darcy Lynn Beckler. Brianna Marie Bellucci. Ariana Victoria Bentham. Samantha Jane Bissett, IB diploma candidate. Ryan Paul Beeler. Preston Lee Birchmeyer. Maya Jade Blake. Felicity Irene Marie Bluebaugh. Kayvon Monroe Roosevelt Blunt. Callie Jo Marie Boberg. Catherine Grace Bodenhamer. Josiah Keelan Bohm. Erin Marie Bortz. Cameron Sage Boswell. Shelby Nicole Bradbury. Maximus Barber Bradley. Dagan John Brady. Sabian Jackie Bray. Braden Robert Breckenridge. Tyson Tiancum Brost. Clayton Shea Brown. Jaden Olivia Brown. Brianna Nicole Oozing. Abigail Lynn Burdick. Zachary Paul Burris. Faith Marie Butler. Mitchell Reed Camilletti. Christine Deborah Kane. Kevin Maxwell Cassidy. Blake Robert Kaler. Brandy Marie Kaler. Zachary Dennis Chandler. McKenna Lene Christensen. Jaden Lene Colley. Cheyenne Marie Colwell. Jacob Carlton Cook. Brandon Michael Cooper. Michaela Catherine Corey. Brandon Tyler Couch. Grace Warren Crater, IB diploma candidate. Ian Thomas Kropp. Addison Nicole Crow. Tyler James Cummings. William Harold Cummins. Ryan Campbell Cunningham.
Alexis Marie Dalton. Rihanna Justine Daniels. Sherston Montgomery Davis. Aaron Christopher Day. Alyssa Summer Dean. Mason Bryn Decker. Andrew Kyril DeKukuk. Alicia Vinesh Desai. Dylan Japhet Diaz. Charles DeWitt Dillahunt III. Danielle Marie Dodge. Aiden Drake Kellen Dollahan. Michael Alexander Dami. Kiera Christine Douglas. Jordan Tanner Doyle. Ashton Joseph Dreer. Tyler Jean Duchesneau. Gabrielle Renee Duffins. Clara Michelle Defoe. Justice Don Duncan. Kaylin Danae Duria Campui. Megan Riley East. Jacob Michael Eaton. Camber Elizabeth English. Vania Espinoza Avila. Zachary John Faith. Anthony Michael Ferris. Lyle Winton Fisher. Taryn Scott Fisher. Trey Nicholas Flanagan. Trayshawn Ray Fletcher. Mitchell Jeffrey Flory. Ryan Payne Flory. Holly Ann Frakes. Griffin John Franklin. Stephen Paul Fredrickson. Colin James Frecking. Haley Nicole Friend Gottschalk. Hannah Marie Fritz. Claire Margaret Fugate. Landon Edward Gaddis. Ian Lee Galbraith. Jason Paul Galloway. Ian Colin Gert. Dalton Gary Christian Gillespie. Caden Scott Gingrich. Jacob Thomas Glendenning. Abigail Catherine Glenn. Michaela Nicole Nagy. Noah Daniel Goldsmith. Luke Santiago Gomez. Aliana Gabrielle Gonzalez. Gage Michael Gooding. Emily Allison Gordon. Noah Tyler Greca. Ryan Elizabeth Green. Alyssa Eliana Guillen. Halen Marie Gunn. Justin Raymond Habersat. John Patrick Hachia. Cameron Matthew Hager. Tessa Melissa Yockers Hall. Emma Kate Hamilton. Mason David Haddock. Jack David Hamilton. Jordan Matthew Harries. Tatum Jade Hart Durall. Braden Christopher Hatcher. Zachary Thomas Hawkins. Killian Levon Hayes. Sierra Ann Haynes. Griffin Lee Hayes. Trayvon James Henderson. Colin Brian Hensel. Caitlin Marie Heron. Caitlin Elizabeth Heastand. Erin Elizabeth Higgins. Heaven Leangela Heisey.
Sophia Josephine Hong. Darby Sky Holroyd. Jordan Christopher Hahn. James Douglas Hopkins. Brendan Alexander House. Trevor Paul Hauser. Tyler Jack Humpage. Andrew James Humphreys. Hi. Grace Ann Hutchinson. Haley Ann Hutton. Hunter Woodrow Eidecker. Jackie Lee Ireland. Precious Lena Jackson. Kim Christian Sandoval, Halosis, IB diploma candidate. Daniel Luke Jaramillo. Nicholas Joseph Jared. Lionel Maurice Jarrett. Austin Michael Jenkins. Annalise Johansson. Aubrey Michelle Johnson. O'Shea Jermaine Johnson. Lindsay Marie Johnston. Isaac Adrian Jones. Keaton Daniel Jones. Emily Shea Kaufman. Rochelle Carr. James Darnell Cahill. Grant Ethan Kaiser. Jacob Michael Keene. Cortez Lee Kelly. Rebecca Grace Kelly. Sydney Rexina Kirstens. Connor Lynn Keys. Alyssa Nicole Kilgore. Gareth Dale Cohen. Gunnar Dale Colleen. Zachary Aspen Lambert. Brittany Sharon Lane. Alyssa Faye Lappi. Melissa Sophia Lariva. Gabriel Brandon Ladalati. Bryce Robert Lavorin. Tyler Scott Leedstrom. Kayla Nicole Ledoux. Jacob L. Lee. Tori Renee LeFew. Paige Therese Leffler. Carly Nicole Lutz. Nathaniel Eric Leininger. Kelly Lynn Lemke. Sierra Renee Leonetti. Alexandria Marie Letson. Quinn Sherwin Lyda. Larissa Maylin Livingston. Erica Nicole Los. Megan Grace Lucas. Alex Michael Luthi. Ethan Eric Lynch. Faith Alice Maddox. Spencer Cole Mann. Caitlin Renee Malik. Kyle Owen Manthe. Haley Chantel Mia Manuel. Sophie L. Maples. Catherine Marie Martin. Adrian Sierra Martinez. Blake Leon Massey. Jasmine Alexandria Villanueva Mateo. Jet Albert Ray Madison. Isaiah Brandon Maxville. Jordan Lynn McCool. Kelvin Michael McCool. Mackenzie K. McGuire. Mindy Claire McKinley. Jacob Aaron McNamee.
Alexander James Medina. Isaiah Joseph Medrano. Sabino Elias Medrano. Lacey May Ming. Christina Marie Mercer. Jaron Andrew Merritt. Kendall Suzanne Maholsky. Elizabeth Lynn Milburn. Amanda Elizabeth Miller. Gloria Ann Miller. Lauren Nicole Miller. Andre Shannon Mills. Hannah Marie Mitchell. Catherine Ann Moody. Eric Thomas Moore. Taylor Maley Morrow. Samantha Mustachio. Michael Bautista Navarro, Jr. Thaddeus Gustav Nelson. Marissa Christine Newer. Jordan Marie Newman. Kayla Ann Nichols. Karen Sue Noble. Gabriel Michael Owens. Cheyenne Elizabeth Payton. Asia Christine Padilla. Maylee Elizabeth Palmer. Anna Grace Parrish. George Cole Parr. Kelly McKenzie Passo. Richard Thomas Pete III. Cameron Michael Perkins. Aaron Dale Perry. Aaliyah Renee Rianne Perry. Sarah Ann Pettit. Claire Kaleala Aloha Petty. Alexis Elizabeth Platt. Connor Dean Plew. Roman Dwayne Plummer. Justin Edward Picorni. Ryan Luciano Porcu. Ian Frederick Preston. Okay, Mario, I don't remember your middle name. Okay. Mario Giovanni Quarles. Nathan Raul Quiones. Matthew Eric Rain. Kira Michelle Rake. Jesus Antonio Ramirez. John Cooper Ramshaw. Catherine Jean Rasmussen. Nicholas David Roush. Alexis Lee Rawlings. Zachary Thomas Ray. Savannah Yvonne Redmond. Dalton Andrew Reed. That's right. I think that Tajaya Marie Reynolds. Noah Robert Reed. Cole Alexander Resnick. Ryan Rod Riza. Nolan Parker Richardson. Isabel Marie Rivera. Oh, okay. Brian Jeffrey Roach, Jr. Christian Zachariah Roberts. Riley Renee Robinson. Haley Renee Retchen. Madison Marie Rogers. Briley Marie Rohr. Aaliyah LaRae Roper. Morgan Taylor Roth. Jonas Timothy Royer. Jared Michael Reese. Vaughn Edward Ryan. Sibel M. Sabarini. Alexander Robert Sage. Triana Ashley Sanderson. Riley Gail Sanford. Cassandra Santiago. Nicholas Sestoke, IB diploma candidate. Ryan Davis Seville. Cade Alexander Sheck. Abby Michelle Schiffman. Landon Patrick Schmidt. Balin Gerhardt Schneider, IB diploma candidate. Madison Rose Schneewise. Cade Elway Schoenfeld, IB diploma candidate. Caitlin Rose Schumacher. Michael James Schurig. John Frederick Scott V. Jordan Michael Seidel.
Bailey Joe Schaefer. Brooke Del Rey Schaefer. Maeve Elizabeth Ship. Marissa Shinshia Shivers. Grace Elizabeth Shore. Micah John Siegfried. Bailey Grace Sigmund. Riley Eileen Silsby. Jacob Michael Simmons. Cheyenne Rain Simpson. Nicholas Elijah Sims. Michelle Danielle Singer. Riley Shea Six. Christina Dawn Skinner. Brady James Slatton. Alexis Nicole Smith. Bennett Harrison Smith. Madison Renee Snavely. Braden Lane Soper. Thena Charlie Spalding. Micah Mariah Spangler. Lucas Matthew Spurgeon. Ethan Lewis Stanley. Samantha Rose Stuckey. Yay. Adam Grant Story. Andrew Ashwell Stevie. Matthew Ryan Sutton. Tyler Dalton Swaffer. Caleb John Swim. Raymond Swopes. Jason Michael Silva. Monet. Cashton Monet Taggart. Caitlin May Taylor. Mark Willis Taylor. Michael Patrick Joseph Taylor. Renee? Is it Renee? Yeah. Haley Renee Tu. Marcus Wong Tiao. Jared Arthur Thomas. Connor Jefferson Thompson. Zachary Thomas Thompson. Madison Ann Thuma. Chase Samuel Tilden. Nathaniel Aaron Tompkins. Alejandra, right? Leslie Alejandra Torices, IB diploma candidate. It's Lee. Peyton Lee Tremblay. Caleb Brian Triggs, IB diploma candidate. Caden Michael Trower. Dylan James Tubach. Jasha Josephine Turk. Alexis Claire Turntine. Morgan Tyrell. Taylor Suzanne Olery. Charles Carlton Van Camp. Catherine May Van Fossen. Jordan Ann Vandervoort. Sean Michael Vanterpool Cruz. Vidas. Leiliani Samantha Vidiz. Joseph Augustine Vlock. Chloe Alexandra Vondenkamp. Ariel Renee Vota. Catherine Jo Wagner. Trinity Leanne Wagner. Braden Scott Wallace. Grayson Brett Waltmeyer. Elijah Samuel Ward. Evan Tyler Watt. Camille Dawn Weilert. Avery Weiser. Do you have your card? What's your name? Alex Welch. Katie Ann Welch. Stephanie Lynn Wells. Ashley Elizabeth Winsel. Claire Elizabeth Westfall. Zachary Robert Wetzel. Drew Jackson White. Mason Bryant Weatharn. Jasmine Marie Willett. Mercedes Dawn Willett. Brooke Shelby Williams. Amanda Jean Winter, IB diploma candidate. Hunter Eugene Witt. Cortland Diane Wolf. Matthew Henry Wolf. Brittany May Woolington. Divine. McKinley Divine Worley. Thomas Wu. Trey Thomas Yurda. Cordelia Grace Zwiener.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to welcome back to the stage your class president, who is going to lead you in the traditional changing of the tassels. Cheyenne.
Can all the graduates please stand? And join me in the changing of the tassels.
I'm going to dismiss him right now. Congratulations, graduates. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my deep privilege and honor as the principal of Washburn Rural High School to dismiss the class of 2018 for the last time. Class, dismissed. There you go. Yes, there is. I think maybe I better do that. They don't make enough. They're not earned.
Wow, I think I got enough.